Hi guys, welcome to Beauty and the Bi.
I'm the beauty on the inside.
And I am the bi, much to dispopular belief by most gay men in Hollywood and
all of
straight
your friends.
people, all over the world.
Mm-hmm. The world
we
over.
Exist.
We know. You keep telling us.
I have to remind people. It's part of me. Tell us about yourself, Christiana.
Christiana, me? Who little old me? I'm Christiana. I am a stand-up comic, believe it or not. I do make people laugh in my free time. I work here in Los Angeles. I host a monthly show at the Open Space, which I believe you have attended.
I have.
Next to Cantor's on Fairfax, in the best part of Hollywood that isn't the part where I live. And I value, my values in this world are friendship and baked goods. And I prioritize intersectional feminist theory above anything else.
Well, I'm the bi. I'm Cody, and I knocked my nose ring out during sex a couple nights ago. So.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's like a little bit about me.
Starting us off.
Yeah,
Nice.
Set the tone.
I like it. Set that tone.
Thanks.
The tone has been set.
Yeah.
Tone has officially been set.
So we're shooting this about, you won't hear this until about 3 weeks out or so.
Yeah, it'll be a minute.
So those of you in the future, let us know, which is the way things are going right now, if your name's put forward for the next Hunger Games, because that's how things are going at this point.
I mean, is there even really going to be a 3 weeks from now? I don't really see it.
Washington will probably be on fire.
Doomsday clock, 2.5 minutes to midnight? 2.5 minutes. But I don't know. The way things are going, we'll see. It's kind of like, we'll see you in 3 weeks. Maybe. Who can say? Who can say if any digital record will be left behind?
I'm like, will we have careers in 3 weeks?
Right.
We don't have careers now.
I mean, do we have careers now? Working on it. Yeah, 2.5 minutes to career.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Current events. Speaking of, I guess.
Speaking
so
of.
and also speaking of intersectional feminism, one of the most interesting things going on recently was just sort of a cluster of protests, which has really grown specifically from the Women's March in Los Angeles. And the Women's March was one of the largest of every single cities, which is impressive. It was larger than even the original march planned in Washington, D.C.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
750,000 people showed up to Los Angeles. Thank you. Like, all of those people were like, we don't necessarily want women to die. And I think that's a cool concept. That's a cool concept.
They're like, we tolerate women.
Yeah.
Let's march.
We're on the fence.
I really appreciate that, though.
We're on the fence about women.
A lot of people gave up their Saturday to march together and assemble in downtown LA.
Yeah, you did, right?
No.
Oh.
I had to work.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, hold on. You had to work?
Of course I had
to work.
I got a mouth to feed. Mine.
You got a mouth to kiss, I'm sure.
But
I don't know. That's fine. You know what? You are just as important not being at the march. 100%, minus 90, but 100%. No.
Is this why people think I'm not bi? They think I hate women? Is that why? They're like, there's no way.
It's not that you hate women, it's just that you love men.
That, I don't put that on tombstone. That defines me in so many ways. No, I had to work. I couldn't go.
No, totally
I was really
get
bummed.
It was fantastic. I absolutely don't hold it against anyone who wanted to show up but couldn't for whatever reason.
Of course.
Solidarity, great. But yeah, I went and it was truly magical.
Yeah.
In such an apocalyptic landscape, just to see that many people say, for whatever reason, they either left, school, work, job, thing, some sort of obligation because they know that this is wrong. Yeah. And they're like, I like pussy. So
yeah.
I support that. I support that belief, and I was really excited to go. I went with several friends, made a sign. I actually got a little bit of red protest sign paint on my Kate Spade, and I'm not mad about it.
No, that's a story. That's a story.
Pretty cool.
When someone's like, "Oh, what happened?" You'd be like, "I was part of the historical march
fighting the regime.
For women. I was tearing down this fascist society."
My Kate Spade and I, we were fighting the current administration.
What did your sign say?
What have you done lately? It said, "Satire won't save us." Uh-oh.
I get it. It's kind of out there.
I made it really pretty. I was worried I made it a little too pretty. It looks like it would be up at Otherwild. you know? Like, it looks like it would be in, like, a feminist boutique. But I was like, whatever, that's my feminism, it's fine.
Yeah, that's you, that's your brand.
Yes,
That's
on
you.
brand. It's like, I made it in loopy cursive on a big, like, white, I painted the cardboard white. Sorry, I guess it's not intersectional, I realize. But
Speaking of intersectional, I really did like how a lot of people can really reflect on the march and still, you can, nothing is above criticism. And I was reading like a lot of great stuff about how like a lot of Indigenous women marched and they were talking about their experiences with like their fellow marchers who were like being pretty fucking racist, and, like not wanting to, not really understanding, like, I think it was one, it was about a Native American Indigenous tribe of women who were marching, and they were singing like their songs, they're in their hymns, and I'm so like culturally uneducated.
You're really on the edge here.
I'm really like fucking it up right now for for the lovely Native American women who all marched, and just like what people would say and do to them who were supposed to be there for women. Like it's not for. I mean, I was obviously.
Was there active criticism?
I'm not active. I mean, like I just was reading a lot of things of people like being like, hey, like. Like that one sign that went viral that was like, I'll see all you nice white ladies at the next Black Lives Matter rally.
I was like, you would have seen me at the last one, but I was like, damn. It's fine.
I was like, call them out. You have to like, call out or call in, like.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing, like I invited several friends. I was like, anybody who can get down here for the Black Lives Matter protest, like get down here now, and that flatlined. So that was before the march, but hopefully, like, what good will come of this is that we can see, like, a concept as broad as women's march is easy to get behind, but apparently if you only stand for women as this sort of, like, ethereal, nebulous concept, rather than saying, no, I care about everything that happens to women, I care about what happens specifically to Black women, I care specifically what happens to Indigenous women, like, if you care about what happens to women, you care about those things.
You care about all kinds of women,
Yeah, so don't just show up for the general concept of women and then say, well, when it actually comes to, like, your rights, but I'm, like, behind the idea of women, I swear. I have several friends who are women.
I know a woman. I was born out of women.
I know what a woman is and does.
It's like that frat boy who like claims he's like
not
lost it.
he's like been with a bunch of girls.
I know what a pussy is. I know. Yeah, it's like there. It's wet.
It's like a void.
I know women. They're
it's like
there.
A nothingness.
Yeah.
It's like a thing that isn't there.
Yeah, definitely. I just really like, to flip it back to the more positive side of it.
Yes.
I do like that it is bringing a lot of, I saw
attention.
Like media attention, but also it's bringing out like people who really weren't politically active. I reached out to a cousin of mine who I'm very close with, and she is not politically charged at all. Like doesn't post anything political on Facebook. Generally stays out of the conversation, especially because with me, it's always going to happen in front of her with someone. But I even texted her to tell her like how proud of her I was. I'm like, you are speaking out about so many issues right now on Facebook, and that's not you. And I really like that's great. I'm so proud. Like
something
my
switched
little
on.
Activist. She was like sharing stuff about like like the defunding of Planned Parenthood and how Trump put the gag or the global gag law order. Yeah, like she was speaking out about. I was like, good for you. Like, cause she's that's not. I know
paying attention.
She's paying attention. She's like really getting behind it. And then another example is I have a roommate, a dear friend of mine, and I didn't even know he was going, but he went to I found on Instagram that he was at the protest at LAX.
Fantastic.
Yesterday. Yeah, I was like seeing all these pictures. I'm like, why is Robbie posting about all of these photos? Like why is he? Where is he getting these? And it dawned on me. I'm like,
he's
oh my
actually
God, he's
there.
And he's like, and he shares stuff on Facebook, like like fuck Donald Trump and stuff like that. But he's not. I've never seen that part of him. So like that was like, I'm so proud.
In protesting, as in friendship, sometimes it's enough just to show up.
Yeah. That was deep, babe.
Speaking of friends, you want to bring on our first guest after the break?
Yes, we're going to take a little break here, but our first friend that we have on, our first friend, is my dear friend Annamarie Kenoyer, and Kenoyer. She is an actress out here in LA. You might have seen her in some little indie movies and TV, and she's my rad bi friend, and I just can't wait to chat to her about all things bi. So.
What if you were like, she was in this little indie movie, The Avengers?
I know, she was in this small film. It's just probably something obscure, like Fences, like a movie clearly like not about white people.
You probably saw her in La La Land.
Yeah, this little Oscar-nominated
co-starring Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, when we come back,
you're really gonna enjoy it.
We're gonna play some games with her, talk to her about some current events, you know.
What's going on in her life.
Yeah. So.
Let's hear women talk.
So we'll see you soon. Welcome back to Beauty in the Bi. We have our guest here now, Miss Annamarie Kenoyer. I said it right this time. Hi.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I've known you for how long now?
Not even like a year.
Miss Annamarie is an actress out here in LA. You've definitely done some TV. I was perusing your IMDb. You've done you've done like 6 or 7 episodes of The Fosters. Yep. You did a couple episodes of Southland, which my family loves.
Did you say Southland like Iceland?
Huh?
Southland?
Southland, the
Southland like Iceland? No. Southland. You say Southland?
Finland.
Southland.
Hey, Mom.
Finland. Viceland.
Netherlands.
Southland. Yeah, you're on Southland. My family loves that show. Like if it's a cop show and it's got a white lead, they're all about it.
Oh, that you just described my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did not
realize. A real picture of
Granted,
that's a dead giveaway.
Granted, my family loves Regina King. Loves her.
Oh, well, that makes they
who
should
doesn't?
love Regina King.
Absolutely.
She's the boss.
But you also have done some indie movies. I know you did Lola's Last Leather.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of how we met. I never saw it. But
how did we?
Because our mutual friend Lucia went to go see it, met you there.
Yes,
the premiere.
With Aaron to the premiere.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Lola's Last Letter, and Lucia explained the movie to me, and I was like, "That's a fucking great concept." Like,
that was my best friend wrote this like amazing movie at the time. It's still amazing.
I was gonna say she wrote
dated.
it at the time, and it is amazing.
And
yes,
it is currently still amazing, and on Amazon.
Ooh, love that shit.
I'm listening.
Yeah, that was the first project that I worked on with like a friend. A friend developed it, and she starred in it, and I played her best friend in the thing, and
I love that. That's a dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's my dream right now, and that's what I want to work towards
to continue doing.
Like, I get so frustrated. Well, I shouldn't. I get frustrated with the roles I get cast in oftentimes.
Oh yeah, what's that?
And I've played a lot of bad teenage daughters. Like that.
Really?
Rebellious.
I was literally just saying. I was like, the only thing I've really.
Pearls. It's our lot in life.
And you're brunette.
Could totally be it. Yeah, it's brunette. It's like I'm tall-ish. I'm 5'7", and so anytime that I have to do a scene with a guy, actors are short, so they
have to stay on an apple
box.
box.
They have to stay on apple boxes. Yeah.
And on the shoulders of women. You know,
and so it's hard to. That's just life in general. That's our whole industry.
Yeah, because you're because I know your character. The only thing I'd seen you, and our friend Lucia showed me like a clip. She's like, "Oh, look, this is the show Annamrie's on, The Fosters, or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And you play like a transphobic character.
I play a transphobic heroin addict.
Oh. Yeah, and you're in like a it's not a foster home because it's not your group home because it's not about the actual foster kids of the Fosters. It's
right.
Yeah, and I remember like
the star of the show goes to a group home, and I'm one of the girls there, and she's like, that was hard work.
Yeah,
man. That was real work.
Yeah,
that was. The characters were based on real girls.
Ooh, that's tough.
Did you meet the girl that you?
What was that?
I don't know.
I know. I was gonna say. I was like, I don't want to like dampen the mood here.
It wasn't
fun.
No, it wasn't. She was like 13 and she came to set, and they're not supposed to know who's playing them.
Oh, interesting. But if you're 13, you can guess. You're like,
yeah. So in her words were, I know that you're the one who's playing me because I shot heroin in my neck with my grandma when I was 12, and you shoot heroin with your grandma when you're 12 too. So.
And you're like, is that so?
Like, that's a great story.
Well, you might also have noticed.
So is this a comedy show, or am I on theme?
This is actually,
Sorry.
Yeah, this is actually an episode of Law and Order.
Great. Yeah. Bum, bum.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring down the tone.
No, not at all.
So
that's fascinating.
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm curious to know if that was a role that, whether you enjoyed it or not, it definitely sounds like it was challenging, but what kind of roles would you want to play in the future?
I would just like to age up. Like, I'm ready to age up in the industry a little bit. It's been, the oldest I've played is, like, besides bit parts in movies or something, I generally play 17-year-olds, and I'm 23. I would like to play a 23-year-old girl who's working or struggling or doing whatever she's doing, but living a life that is
something that you can really
something that
connect to at this point in
that
time.
Other 20-year-olds can relate to. That's content I would like to create, and also be in. Basically that.
Well, Annamarie is also very politically charged, just like we are. She's retweeting everything I'm retweeting on Twitter about everything that's going on in the world, and that's how I know we're good friends. But she was also were you at the Women's March?
Yeah.
Okay, but she was also at the first big protest rally that happened the day after Election Day.
Yeah,
Election
after
Tuesday.
Election night.
Yeah.
November 8th.
And there's this badass picture that I am so happy to know her, and I'm like, that's my friend Annamarie. There's this great picture that your boyfriend took from behind of you walking away, walking, with the marchers, and you have your sign up that says "Pussy grabs back."
Yeah.
And I love that. And you said it got attention?
Yeah, it got on the news. It was on ABC 7.
That's fantastic.
They saw us when we were there wasn't a lot of news coverage.
There wasn't on that one.
But there was when we were going through the tunnel, and there was the push to get on the freeway.
Yeah.
That's where there was
because
and then
now it could impact our lives and our
exactly.
traffic. All right, we gotta cover it.
Exactly. That's really when they started covering. Is that's when helicopters come. That's when they came. Is when they get on the freeway. They're clogging up the freeway. Well, you weren't paying attention before.
Yeah, and that's really why I get mad at people who are don't disrupt traffic, whatever. It's I read this really great post that someone wrote about how people who march on freeways, the whole point of it is to make you feel powerless, to make you feel helpless because you can't do anything. You literally just have to sit there and listen.
To break you out of this obviously sense of
and then
monotony.
also to feel what it's like to be powerless and not be able to do anything, to be stuck in that one spot. That's what people who are oppressed feel like.
To me, it felt really symbolic. Also, just because LAs are so integral to, or freeways are so integral to LA. And that was I was so heartbroken after this election. Of course. And seeing everybody come together like that was the thing that brought me back. The thing that brought me out of it. And everybody's on the freeway here. You can't escape them. And so it just made sense to get on them. To me, it felt like LA owning it. It's this is our territory. This is where we spend all of our time, and we're saying we're not here for this shit. We're gonna say it on our freeways, we're gonna say it in downtown, around the buildings that we'll say it at City Hall. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. We'll say it at Cafe Gratitude.
That's
Go
right.
fuck yourself. I just don't like Cafe Gratitude, but we'll say it there.
We'll say it there too.
Yeah.
We'll say it there too.
Name a place.
To go back into acting and stuff, because the whole gist of this show is to kind of, we all want to talk to people who are entertainers and are in the entertainment world, and kind of talk to them about their perspective from it, from the lens of someone that is LGBT, from the lens of someone who has something to do with sex or gender or orientation like that. And you are my fellow bi. we share that. But so what do you, going back to talking about what you want to play, do you want to see yourself in more queer roles? Do you want to see more roles for queer women?
That's the short that I'm working on right now is one that I'm trying to, it's something I'm writing though, but is for a queer woman. I want to star, I'm not going to be in it, but I want to cast these two other friends of mine and have it be a story about queer women. On television, there are very, very few. Good stories. They're just kind of far and few between. There's Orange is the New Black, and there's stuff like that. But what I find is that it's hard at this age to play a happy queer person. Those roles are nowhere. It's you're coming out to your family and they hate you.
Yep.
You are so torn within yourself. And you have, or you're like, and then like intertwined with like just really cliche gay club scenes.
Yeah.
Just like really cliche, like.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I know what the inside of a West Hollywood gay club looks like. I was just there last night until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it.
Like, I think about this a lot, and the one show that I think would have been benefited so immensely by a queer perspective, and specifically by a queer protagonist, would be The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Because why not? Like, there's every time they try and twist Kimmy up in a romantic relationship, it's clear that she's experienced trauma, has repressed anything.
Yes.
But because of that, partially,
though.
like, yes.
Her and Dong were the only ones, but I was
beautiful
there for them.
Yeah. But even that said, it still always feels strained. I'm like, you're kind of just like getting around this fact. I really think that she should have been written as a queer woman.
What about her roommate? He hasn't had a relationship at all.
Didn't he have the construction?
Like, barely.
Did that go anywhere?
I don't
I'm
remember.
a little behind in Kimmy Schmidt.
With the
I
construction.
swear it did.
With the construction. He
had like
I
an
watched
episode
through-
with him. This is
he
not like a
comes back,
sustainable.
Yeah.
Kimmy Schmidt fans are gonna be like,
They're
did you
gonna
guys even
have
fucking
something
watch
like,
it?
all right, I'm speaking out of turn here. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't know my.
Yeah, I
authority.
want to say because I watched all season 1, I didn't get through season 2. Not because it's bad. I love the show.
there's
I'm
so
just
much to
terrible at commitment in all forms of the word.
But yeah.
And that also goes for TV shows. And I remember, I think, popping in at my friend's house once, and she had it on, and he was on there. I'm like, oh, they like actually ended up. Like, that's as far as I know.
Yeah, but it felt like there's so many shows, Orange is the New Black aside, that just decide because they have a gay character that there's gay representation. I'm like, there's more than one gay person in most of our lives. It's not just like
and if there is one,
it's a
maybe don't
positive
kill her off.
representation. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe don't kill her.
Almost always. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Almost
black men and gay women just about always die. That's it.
Always.
Die.
Even in like films and shows where there's been otherwise really positive representation, they're just like, well, the black man has to die,
And
or
the
gay
argument for
woman has
it
to
is
die.
always that, well, they're the ones who pull the most
tragic.
heartstrings. They pull the most
Always
heartstrings,
a
we should
tragic.
get rid of them. I'm like, no.
Nope.
People love other characters on the show.
And that's actually like what actually.
Kill the straight white people.
There's enough of them. That's why actually a lot of I heard Walking Dead is kind of coming under a lot of fire for that, because it's always been a show. Everyone's like, who's gonna die, but it's gotten to the point now where like they're killing off so many of the really lovable characters that people are like, why would I want to watch this show when I feel like I can't root for them? Like, why I have no one to get behind like anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
How many seasons has that show been on the air though? They've just run out. That's why.
46?
Yeah.
It feels like 46.
Or like 100.
Yeah.
242.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they
I think
just
it's
run out of
243rd this year. Yeah.
I think it is this like half year because they have like a 8-part season
Yeah,
this month.
they do
way.
they do a mid-season break and stuff like
I
that.
feel like watching The Walking Dead is like being a Cubs fan. It's just like exhausting and tragic, and you do it for your whole life, and then as soon as you have decided to get on board with it, you try to like infect everybody around you with it. Yeah. Speaking as a lifelong Cubs fan.
Okay.
Not a Walking
like,
Dead fan.
So cute.
Right? I'm like
sports.
We'd love to know generally like what's really at the heart of this show is just questions of sex and sexuality. So what's interesting to us is genuine question here, like what is your first either experience with sex or your first memory of sex, of the idea of it? We're not saying like what's the first time you had sex? It doesn't have to be that, but like with the concept and realizing that like sex was a thing, what was your first experience with that?
I had 2 pretty open parents and knew what it was from a young age. It was not like a taboo thing, and I remember growing up and being like, oh, you know, if the door's locked in the mornings, that like don't knock and go in there. Like my parents are probably doing it. It wasn't like, but it also wasn't weird, like dad's naked all the time and just like, they walked that line very well. So I think I grew up with a really healthy relationship or view about sex. I think in some ways I remember like so I grew up in Wisconsin until I was 13 and then moved to Los Angeles, and that transition was funny.
No kidding.
In terms of like
Just like completely not eating cheese anymore, basically.
Yeah,
That's the
like,
biggest.
hard.
Yeah.
So you're
It's
vegan now.
so hard to find a good career out here. I cannot tell you.
That could be a 45-minute show on its own. Right now, you and me just talking about where the best cheeses
Our
are.
new podcast,
And-
Cheese
Right.
Wheel
That is
with
also
Annamarie.
a huge lesbian stereotype that is, in this case, super accurate.
Wow.
I love those.
I love it when they're
right
like
now.
accurate. When they're like, I didn't know that the Subaru thing was a stereotype, and I'm like, I've like
the real
always
one.
wanted to drive my dad's Subaru.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Um,
You just like see a soccer mom drive by, and you're like, God.
I'm just like, fuck.
Like some people have all the luck.
You're seeing yourself driving it. Your
Yes.
pasted your face onto that.
No, minus the kids.
Yeah.
And-
Right.
Yes, but yeah, you just have like grip equipment in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, and then so their perspectives on sexuality in general were actually not as different as you might think. Like I feel like that is like around 13 when they're like don't know how to talk about it, and like there's this weird gap between when you're 12 and you're 13, and like people are like supposed to have done it but not talk about it and not do like and it was all very confusing to me.
At that age, people were doing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
People
people in
are.
Simi Valley were doing it at 13. I didn't find that out until I was like 18. But
Yeah,
I did
that
find
was always
out.
something that was really weird to me, just because like I remember being in like 6th grade and like there was a rumor going around. So like 6th grade, I'm like 11, and there was a rumor around like the two like the couple that like everyone knew like had been dating. They're like like oh, she gave him like a blowjob in the bathroom, and I was like
There was still
what?
stuff
Oh,
like that at school, but like that to me was always just, that was more what the distinction was. Like less of that would have happened in Wisconsin, less, like not less blowing, just
Right, but less
talking about it. And it was very much like a politicized thing.
Politicized playground.
Like a push-pull of
Yes.
like, I was like, why does it matter? It was so confusing.
I'm imagining like an Angela just being like, I'm going to ruin Sally's career. She will never walk
Literally,
this elementary
like,
school.
She
while
gets
I
sex
live.
to him.
She will not touch a dodgeball.
Bathroom.
She's just like,
Finished.
like
That's wonderful. I'm delighted by the thought.
So yeah, like my first
So, yeah.
kiss was when I was 12, which I feel like that's standard.
Yeah.
It was just like
Yeah.
nothing intense. And then the first time I had sex, I was 17, which was
Like that's yeah.
middle of
End of high school, beginning of college. Yeah.
middle of exactly.
That's a
And my views of sexuality are like ever changing and ever flowing, and they've pretty much always been very open. I should clarify, they've always been pretty open, but my tastes
Yeah.
fluctuate.
Okay.
okay.
Well.
Well.
In order to wrap up our show,
In
we
order-
have a game to play with you.
Oh,
if you'll
shit.
indulge us, please.
I will, because
Give
this
it
is
to me.
my
If you'll,
shit.
if you'll indulge us.
So,
yes.
you know, as a fellow bi person, we do engage in similar things. You know, like you date men, I date men, you date women, I date women, but you don't date gay men like I don't date gay women, right?
Oh,
See where this is
yeah.
going? Yeah, so we have that little difference there. So, I, you know, dusted off the old Grindr because, you know, that wasn't.
I don't think it
that-
needed dusting
That
off.
wasn't open before the show started.
I don't think I needed dusting.
Side note, you need to see John's Grindr page that I set up for him. That's my
You-
boyfriend.
I'm
of
like your
3
boyfriend.
years.
Her boyfriend John
Thank
has a
you.
Grindr page.
Yeah, it's great.
I need to favorite it.
Yeah.
So, you know, you especially like when you start like Grindr like so young, like you're figuring out like what do these terms mean in these people's bios? Like I don't know what this means, and sometimes sometimes
Okay.
you just don't really like. You have to kind of figure it out because knowing my ass, I
together.
don't look shit up.
But now
so-
you have 15 seconds to figure it out rather
Yes.
than
Oh,
years.
I'm terrible at this. I've never done the
Yes.
online dating thing. Okay, I'm just gonna, let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna give you.
So these are
I'm actually
guys'
gonna-
profiles, and these are
These are just
Letters?
Specifically,
No, these
yes,
are- so
specifically.
These
gay
are
guys.
terms that are commonly used in either
Vocabulary.
Grindr profiles or even just honestly slang terms kind of used by gay men in gay culture.
Okay.
I'm only going to do a couple of these.
Let's do 5.
Let's do 5. I kind of want to just go through it. Okay, I'm going to do this one first because it's on top and it's a good one. So you have 15 seconds to try and come up with what you think this means. But who knows? Maybe she knows what it means. She's a smart girl.
You may get it.
Okay, so the first one, I'm going to show you these two, like how they're spelled, because like they're stylized certain ways that it kind of gives you a clue. So this one is pause play. Do you know what pause play is? What do you think that means?
No, I would think that you do you build each other up to oh no, oh my god. You knew immediately where I was
going.
going.
Are you thinking acrobatics?
No.
What are you saying?
No, how innocent is that?
That is not what I was thinking.
Oh, I was
what were you thinking?
That you get each other off to the point of actually getting off, but then you don't, and you have to take a pause. Keep going, get into it. So
there is a term for that.
There is
a term for that.
What is it called?
Edging.
Edging, yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
I went the most innocent route because I just look at Annamarie and look at her cute flowy dress like she's in La La Land.
Stuffed animals.
Right. I don't know this one. What's this one mean?
This one is, but I thought you were going to say is pause play when someone when you guys build each other up with positivity?
Oh my God.
You get into bed,
way too depressive. You should know better than that.
Come on.
Pause play is, and this is a newer term. I just discovered this.
Cosplay?
No, but good guess. Pause play is I suppose a kink, and that is men who get off to the fact of knowing that they're having sex with their HIV positive partner.
Really?
Yes. So
I've been broken in one episode.
So I saw that recently, and I'm like, okay with pause play.
What is what does the pause come
positive.
from?
You're HIV positive.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's the Z
And I mean,
that's throwing you off.
not knocking that HIV people cannot be sexually
yeah, of
active.
course.
Yeah, of course.
No,
It's the getting off on it. That takes
Yeah.
some,
It's
that's
weird.
some layers.
Yeah.
there.
So
Is he getting off? Does he have
That's
a hero thing? It doesn't even matter to me.
I'm
babe.
such a
I
good
love you so
person. I'm such a
much.
good person as
Or
I'm
is
just
it the
raw
worst?
dogging you.
Some people jump out of airplanes. Some people have pause play. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
very true.
think
Some
that
people
Next
get their
term.
feels certain ways.
Next
And I
term,
was
keep it moving.
Yeah, sorry. The next one is.
Ooh,
I like
we
this
just had a
one.
great conversation about this the other day where Chris and I thought it was the way that you and I would understand it, and someone else did not realize. Go ahead.
Okay, interesting. I want to know about that. Poppers. Do you know what poppers are?
Like pills? No.
No? Cute though.
Pills. Poppers?
Poppers.
That's literally
It's
all
an
I can
item, if
think
that
of.
helps. Do you watch Broad City?
Yes.
There's an episode they mention it.
Do they?
Yeah, so poppers.
Are you giving me a hint?
I mean, yeah.
Is it Coke?
No. You have to think gay terms. So poppers is something you could buy at your local sex shop, and it's this little vial, and it's with this
Smelling
liquid
salts for the
selling salt
modern
kind of
age.
thing, and men use it in bed because it gives you a head rush, but it also loosens the bunghole.
What?
Yeah, you just stick it up your nose, and you're like,
Oh.
and you do that with it really,
Your...
and you just do it with that really intense gaze. You're like.
Yeah, you have to stare at each other while doing it.
Yeah,
just
I've
like
definitely.
I am
people,
loosened.
I've
You would
been
be
with-
great at it, honestly. That was a good one. I would have been intimidated. I would
I
have
want
become
someone
a sub.
to tell me that, because I've been with people who have done it, and they always offer it, and I'm like, no, I just don't stick things up my nose.
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah, and
Because your nose ring is
Sorry.
going to fall out.
are you insinuating?
Oh, she didn't insinuate. She just said. She just said it.
Well, yeah. So those are poppers. You just stick them up your nose, and you get yourself a head rush, and there goes the
Real
card.
nice loose butthole.
I think we have time for one more.
One more.
Pick your face.
Oh my god.
These are fun.
All right. This is a funny one, I guess. Cottaging.
You put cottage cheese on each other.
As I said it, I was like, I hope she guesses cottage cheese.
I would literally a cottage cheese.
Cottaging.
Going to a cottage with each other. You're gonna
and have a nice
You get a little
romantic.
Airbnb.
A breakfast and
out
you're
in
like
Napa
Big Bear
Valley.
with each other. You're
Such
Rent some
cute answers, such
skis.
innocent answers.
Wait, okay,
Especially
cottaging.
because this is
You're
not
like-
innocent.
I'm sure it's not cottage. Build a home somewhere.
Oh.
When you date someone and
You
want,
get some twigs, put them together, some berries,
Cottage, I don't know. Okay, give me a hint.
public.
Oh, is it okay? Like fucking in public? Is that it?
Generally, but it's
In a
explicitly
cottage?
it is soliciting for sex in public bathrooms.
Ah, they should just call that being a Republican.
Right? Doing like little hands under the door.
Did you hear that when the RNC convention was going on, that like prostitution like rates like spiked that weekend?
Oh yeah.
And especially like with like the trans prostitution ring, like
yes, that's always
super high.
Absolutely, that is such a true.
People act like they don't like trans people, but they'll pay to fuck them.
Yep.
What's wrong with people?
Just literally come forward and like try.
Mad though, like it wouldn't if it wasn't that they are the ones who are like
funding the entire industry.
But right? Isn't that like the real fucking kick in the ass?
Yeah.
Well,
what we've learned from this episode,
Cottaging. So if you want to try that one day.
2, Cottaging, great. 3, support trans sex workers, again, okay. And then 4, 1 million women, 0 men. Repeal men. That's what we've learned from this episode.
Revoke, repeal, revise.
Thank you. Reduce, reuse,
recycle. Rihanna.
I like Rihanna.
Reduce, reuse, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on this show.
Annamarie, what a pleasure.
You're just like one of my favorite people I've met out here, and I just
I'm left out, but I'm doing it
via. Okay. It's just like this.
I feel so connected.
I'm sorry, my hands are sweaty.
Mine were.
I mean, I'm not sorry, but.
What's going on here?
Oh, stop. You both are on the.
I just mean I'm not ashamed of my body. That's all I was trying to communicate. That's
no,
all. I'm a sweaty person.
Loud and clear.
I have a lot of pores that sweat. Well, thank you for being on the show.
My body works.
Hope everyone enjoyed it. And Annamarie, tell people where they can find you. Do you know your handles? We talked about this. You're so best.
Darn it. Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Annamarie, AHH Annamarie, and then
I'm pretty sure that's your Twitter. That's the same one. Yeah.
I think it's the same one. I think it's the same one. It might be Annamarie IRL.
And her Twitter's a good time, so.
And you can find Cody
at Cody Palm, just my name. I have had this handle since 2009. There's another Cody Palm out there who tweeted me. It was like, "Give me your handle," and I quoted, and I was like, "I've had this shit since I was a sophomore in high school. Fight me." And same thing for Instagram, at Cody Palm.
As far as you know, I don't have a Twitter.
She's dead.